I'm going to give you the exact formula to how I've raised millions of pounds from private investors to finance my deals. In fact, I'm going to share with you one email template that I used, which managed to get me about £360,000 from one investor, 240 from the other. That's £500,000 within 48 hours from sending the email. I'm going to give you the exact email script and exactly how I do it. So firstly, you need, as a property entrepreneur, to be able to find good, lucrative deals. If you don't have the money, it doesn't matter, because there's someone out there with the money that's just looking to put it into a good, reputable deal. And that person would rather have 50% of something than 100% of nothing with their money sat in the bank. So the first thing is you get good at finding deals. Now, let's say you found the deal, but you got no money. How on earth do you get investors to finance your deals and give you 50% of the profits when you put no money in? Well, the second thing is you need to be able to put yourself in the right rooms where you can find investors. Where do you find investors? Well, it might be that you already know people. Your mom, dad, auntie, friend, family member, Dave down the pub, who's got a bit of money, who's got a bit of equity in their house, lazy money, doing nothing in their house, tied up, that they can refinance and give to you to do a partnership on a deal. Or maybe you need to find new investors. So where do you go? I'm going to give you some of the exact networking events that I personally have been to. BNI, that's Business Networking International. I was a member of BNI about 17 years ago. I was a member for many, many, many years. And there's BNI chapters all across the country, in fact, all across the world, that you can go to as a property investor, and you get an opportunity to stand up in front of professional business people every single week and tell them what you're doing, what you're looking for, what deals you've got, and how much finance you need. There'll be people that don't just come to you with money interested themselves, but they also pass you investors that also could be interested. For Networking, shout out to everybody at For Networking. I was a member there for many years. PIN, Property Investors Network, Chamber of Commerce, all these types of networking groups you can go to. They are open to the public. Yes, you might have to pay a small fee to be a member. I mean, I run my own Property Investors Academy, where there's amazing opportunities to network. I run the Samuel Leeds Inner Circles, which are absolutely incredible. If you don't know anybody, get around investors. That's the second thing. Next, how do you actually get them to give you money? Well, here's the interesting part. You don't ask them for money. In fact, asking an investor for money is the worst thing you can do, because it will damage your relationship with that person. Because it's now awkward, isn't it? If you go, hey, I need some money. I know you've got 100 grand. Are you interested? You're now pitching them. People do not like being sold to, and people do not like talking about money. It's very taboo, and it will potentially damage the best relationships that you have. So instead, what do? Instead of asking them for money, you ask them for feedback. So this is the email that I sent out. The email effectively said, I'm going to give a copy of you can download it in the description, but effectively the email says, hi, John, I really value your opinion, and I've got this property deal that I'm looking to buy, and I've got some meetings with some investors over the coming weeks, and I'd love to get an opportunity to sit down with you over a coffee or a Zoom meeting and get your feedback on my presentation and the property in question. As again, I really value your opinion. Let me know when you've got 15 minutes for a chat. I'd love to get your opinion and feedback on the deal. That's it. You can ring up. Hey, Mom, I love you so much, and I know you've got a couple of properties, and I really value your opinion, and I've got a property that I'm looking to buy. I'm meeting some potential investors next week, and I'm going to be potentially raising some finance. I'd love to just have a sit down with you and to just practice your pitch and see if there's any blind spots. Would I be able to get 15 minutes where you can have a little look at the deal and give me your opinion? That's it. Are they going to say yes to that? Of course. Are they going to come feeling all guard up? No, because you're just getting their opinion. Then when you meet them, you're going to show them firstly the deal. And in fact, you need to put the deal in such a way where it's presented in a pack. I'll give you an example as well. In the download below, I'm not just going to give you the email that I used to get £500,000 in 48 hours, but I'm also going to show you the pack that I actually used to present. So an example of the pack is going to be like this. It's going to show the property. It's going to go through the figures. It's going to show why it's a good deal. Then when you've done that, the second half of the presentation is showing what your exact offering is to the investor. So the offer that I'm offering is, they're going to need to put this much money in. I'm going to give them this much return. They're going to have a first charge, whatever it might be. You're going to show your friend, your mom, the offering, and then you're not going to ask them for money, of course. You're just going to say, what do you think? Do you think this is fair for my investors? Have you got any tips? Is there any blind spots? Any questions you've got? Anything I missed? If your friend says, no, it's a good pitch, hope it goes well, do not ask for money. That means they're not interested, but you didn't need to ask. You showed them everything, and they never said they were interested, so they're not interested. Show them the pitch, show them the thing, ask them if they've got any questions, feedback. If they're interested, they'll now tell you? And they'll say, you know what? Then I start asking questions. They might say, you know what? I might even be interested myself. And that's when you can act surprised and go, oh, yeah, of course. And go into business with them and keep doing that again and again and again, using other people's money, joint venturing your way to become a multi-millionaire. I hope this was helpful. If you want to see an example of how to put together a pack, which you're going to present to an investor, and if you want to see an example of the exact template on an email that I have personally used to send to investors, click the link in the description, download the pack completely for free. You're welcome.